I'd like to welcome Josh Johnson to the stage.
Thanks. Thanks, Bill, Danielle, and Frank. Don't leave. AFSA created the Distinguished Service Award in 1941 to recognize individuals who have made a difference by contributing to the growth and the advancement of our industry and our association. Would all the previous DSA award recipients who are here with us today please stand? Let's give them a round of applause. Today we are honoring 3 exceptional individuals. Our first Distinguished Service Award is presented to April Park, Executive Vice President and General Counsel at One Main. Please look at the screen.
April Park has served as One Main's Executive Vice President and General Counsel since 2015, where she's responsible for overseeing the Legal and Compliance Department. One Main is a publicly traded consumer finance company providing personal loans to middle-income Americans with a 100-year history. April graduated magna cum laude from McDaniel College in Baltimore with a BA in political science. In 1985, she received her JD with honors from the University of Maryland School of Law. April then began her professional journey as a judicial clerk for the Honorable David Ross at the Circuit Court for Baltimore City. In 1986, she joined Niles, Barton & Wilmer, LLP, where she practiced corporate law representing banks, insurance agencies, and small to medium-sized companies. April became a partner 9 years later. In 1997, April became the Associate General Counsel with then Commercial Credit. She quickly moved up the ranks as the Deputy General Counsel and then as General Counsel in 2005. The company changed its name to Citi Financial in 2000 after becoming part of Citigroup. The company's name changed again to One Main prior to being acquired by Springleaf in 2015, when April was promoted to EVP and General Counsel. April has been very active with AFSA for over 18 years. Currently, she serves on the AFSA Executive Committee and Board of Directors. April served as chair of the AFSA Law Committee from 2010 to 2012. During this challenging time for the industry, the Dodd-Frank Act was passed and the Bureau of Consumer Financial Protection, BCFP, was created. This time period also saw the implementation of the CARD Act as well as substantial mortgage rule changes. She also served as chair of the Personal Loan Subcommittee and Mortgage Loan Subcommittees. April also works hard to advocate for traditional installment loans, including meeting with members of Congress during AFSA's Installment Lenders Summit. For many years, April participated in AFSA, SGA, and Legal Issues Forum with the state regulators, and continues to serve on the AFSA State Government Affairs Committee. April is a member of AFSA's Women's Leadership Council, which was formed in 2015 to foster executive leadership and mentorship of top female talent in the financial services industry. She actively serves her community as chair of the Korean Bar Committee in the Maryland State Bar Association. She also serves as chair of the Leadership Academy established over 20 years ago to develop future leaders. April served as a board member of the Baltimore Urban Debate League from 2009 to 2014, a nonprofit organization that promotes the use of debate as a tool to engage middle and high school students. In 2017, April was awarded the Community Engagement Leadership Award from the National Asian American Coalition. April was appointed to the Judicial Nominating Commission for Baltimore County by Maryland Governor Robert Early and served from 2003 to 2007. She was appointed again in 2015 by Governor Larry Hogan, and in 2018 was appointed chair. The commission interviews vets and recommends applicants to the governor for appointment to the Maryland Judiciary. In her spare time, April enjoys spending time with friends and traveling with her husband, Jay. Jay and April have visited Peru, Italy, Spain, and Portugal, and plan to visit Egypt later this year. April and Jay have 5 children spread across the United States and South Korea. They also have 3 grandchildren who live in Maryland. They love to see them grow and relish the opportunity to attend Grandparents' Day at school.
April, please come up on stage and join me. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in congratulating Distinguished Service Award honoree April Park. Our second DSA is presented to Frank Lee, President and CEO of Tower Loan. Again, please look at the screen.
First Tower is a financial services company that owns and operates consumer finance branches and 2 insurance companies. In 1972, Frank's father, Jack R. Lee, purchased 12 Tower Loan locations, and the rest is history. Frank grew up in Raymond, Mississippi. He graduated from Jackson Preparatory School, where he was a National Merit semi-finalist. He began working at Tower Loan as a part-time employee at the age of 16, assuming various responsibilities within the company while attending high school and college. In 1988, Frank received a BBA in Banking and Finance from Mississippi State University, where he served as chairman of the Mississippi College Republican Federation and director of governmental affairs for the Student Association. After graduation, Frank returned full-time to Tower Loan to learn all aspects of the business, from marketing to acquisitions. While learning the ins and outs of the company, Frank also became involved in AFSA and served as its Marketing and Operations Committee. In 1999, Frank became president and CEO of First Tower, which had 77 locations at that time. Today, the company has 230 offices with locations in Alabama, Illinois, Louisiana, Mississippi, and Missouri. From 1999 to 2001, Frank served on the Independent Section Board and as AFSA PAC Chair in 2000. Under his leadership, the PAC hit its first 6-figure mark, raising $100,000. Frank currently serves on the Executive Committee, Board of Directors, State Government Affairs Committee, and Installment Lending Technology Task Force. In 2016 to 2017, Frank was elected AFSA's chairman of the board and chaired a very successful conference in Washington, D.C. This included a Capitol Hill Day where he advocated for the important role that traditional installment loans play in the economy. He's a founding member of the National Installment Lenders Association and served as its original chairman. Frank has been incredibly active in visiting with members of Congress to ensure they understand the important value that traditional installment loans bring to ordinary Americans. Frank is also very involved in leadership at the state level and an active member of the state associations in Alabama, Illinois, Louisiana, Mississippi, and Missouri. In 2010, Frank's colleagues recognized his accomplishments and awarded him the Outstanding Independent Award. Frank also gives much of his time to local charitable, civic, and political organizations. In 2010, members of the finance industry across America funded the Jack R. Lee Chair of Financial Institutions and Consumer Finance at Mississippi State University in memory of Frank's father. Frank was named the College of Business's 2012 Alumnus of the Year at Mississippi State University, and in 2017 he was named one of the top 100 alumni of the College of Business and Industry in the last 100 years. Frank has been married to his wife Shirley for nearly 25 years. They have 2 wonderful sons, Brandon and Jacob. Frank loves his dog, PC3, that was from the same litter as the Mississippi State Bulldog mascot, Bully.
Please join me in congratulating Distinguished Service Award honoree Frank Lee. Frank? Thank you. Our final DSA is presented to Frank Salinger, Principal, Public Policy Law Firm. One last time, check out the screens behind me.
Frank Salinger runs a boutique law practice that helps financial services companies and trade associations unravel legislative and regulatory knots that impede business. Frank received his undergraduate degree from Washington Adventist University in Tacoma Park, Maryland in 1972, and his JD from the University of Baltimore School of Law in 1975. After graduation, Frank served as a law clerk to Representative Larry Hogan of Maryland, who was a member of the House Judiciary Committee during the impeachment of President Nixon. In 1976, he became the assistant counsel to the Maryland State Senate Judicial Proceedings Committee, and in 1977, he got his first start in the consumer finance industry with American Finance as their associate counsel. During this period, he also served as regional counsel for Security Pacific Finance. In 1979, he joined the Truck Trailer Manufacturers Association as Government Relations Counsel. In 1980, he joined AFSA as General Counsel and was then promoted to Vice President, General Counsel, and Director of Government Affairs. During that time, AFSA sued the FTC over the credit practices rule. Frank also testified before the Federal Reserve Board on the Fed's proposed rules on limited purpose banks. Frank has been active in politics for many years. In 1988, he worked on the campaign staff for the Bush-Quayle campaign, where he met George W. Bush. In 1992, he moved to the Advanta Corporation, serving as the Vice President of Government Relations and Company's representative on the AFSA Board of Directors. AFSA and the consumer credit industry have always been an important part of Frank's professional life. He's attended meetings since 1977, and as we have just seen, often provided his expertise as a conference speaker. Frank currently represents AFSA as outside counsel. He's been especially active with AFSA's ongoing efforts to promote the importance of consumer credit on Capitol Hill and around the nation. Frank has authored a number of amicus briefs on behalf of the consumer finance industry and has drafted countless comment letters, white papers, and member communications. He's also the author of numerous articles and books, including Federal Regulation of Consumer Credit, and his latest, Letters from the Swamp, Essays on Politics from 9/11 to Trump. Frank is also very active in the community. He previously chaired the Miami Shakespeare Festival and is a former member of the Board of Governors of Washington, D.C.'s Ford's Theater. Frank and his wife Susan are longtime production sponsors of Washington, D.C.'s Folger's Shakespeare Theater and support the arts and organizations working for economic liberty through their fund, the Frank and Susan Salinger Cultural Initiative. Frank and Susan also love traveling, visiting 17 countries to date, and especially love those with wineries and distilleries.
Please join me in congratulating Distinguished Service Award honoree Frank Salinger. Thank you. Before we wrap it up, I would like to invite Chris back to the stage to present a special DSA award. Chris?
As you know, the DSAs are public awards. I mean, everybody here that won so far today this award or was honored with this award has not been a surprise. They were notified, their families were notified. How else are you going to get all those pictures unless there's some cooperation from the family? But we had one honoree that we wanted to surprise this time because it's an individual who we all know and we all treasure. Sheilah Harrison. Sheilah and her identical twin sister, and if you've not met her yet, don't call her Sheilah. It's Layla, was born in Hazleton, Pennsylvania, when their father, Harvey, worked as a branch manager for household finance. Their brother, Morgan, was born 16 months later. After 15 years with household, Sheilah's family moved to Westfield, New Jersey, where her father joined CIT Group, where he worked for 25 years until his retirement. Sheilah attended Kent State University in Ohio and graduated with a BS in special education. She was a freshman at Kent State, if we all remember when the tragedy struck in May of 1970 with the massacre at Kent State. Following graduation, Sheilah moved to Alexandria, Virginia, where she taught special education for 7 years and was involved in the Special Olympics. Although Sheilah loved teaching, in 1980, an opportunity presented itself and she joined Executive Enterprises. And our history begins in 1983. She joined AFSA as Director of Programs and Conferences, where she consolidated AFSA's meetings department. Sheilah was a pioneer in developing AFSA's newly formed independent section, which held its first conference in '84. AFSA's independent section recently celebrated its 35th conference. In 1987, Sheilah surprised everyone when she won the twist contest at the Independence Conference in Maui. Wow. Is that Tom Durkin with you? Okay. Both. A career highlight for Sheilah was the 1989 annual convention in San Francisco, where she arranged for the president to speak Ronald Reagan as the keynote speaker. In 1991, Sheilah helped develop the first AFSA Investors Conference, which is now called the Credit Summit for Fixed Income Investors. Over the years, Sheilah worked closely with speakers and was honored to be selected by the National Speakers Association as their meeting partner of the year. In 1999, Sheilah was promoted to Vice President of Membership Services, a current position that she holds. She serves as the staff liaison to the Vehicle Finance Division Board and the Vehicle Commercial Credit Committee, and the Vehicle Division has grown today to over 100 members. For 30 years, she has served on liaison to the Human Resources Committee. In October 2015, Sheilah helped spearhead the formation of the Women's Leadership Council, a group designated to promote the leadership and mentorship of top female talent in the financial services industry. The WLC has grown to 62 members in the last several years. For fun, Sheilah enjoys traveling, especially with her twin sister. They enjoyed 2 Viking river cruises to Monaco and Budapest, and another favorite was visiting their Irish roots on a trip to Ireland. Enjoying going to the theater and with her sister and niece Susan. After 35 years with the association, Sheilah will be retiring from AFSA at the end of December. She looks forward to spending more time with her friends, family, and miniature schnauzer, Roxy. On a personal note, before Sheilah comes up here, I just want to say how heartfelt all of us are at AFSA, and especially with the AFSA staff. I know I have not been there 35 years, but I did know you for 35 years because we had met a long time ago. But I can't tell you how invaluable and important she has been to the success of this organization, how much she has made this that community that I talked about earlier. Thank you, Sheilah.
Well, thank you so much. I'm so deeply, deeply honored. And all I can say is that they say that if you love what you do, your job is not work. And I have truly loved every day of my 35 years at AFSA, working, of course, with Chris and Bill and a fine staff, and getting to know so many of you. But I'm most proud to have been part of an industry that really cares about its customers, especially those that need you the most. Thank you.